Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm still here. Anyway, um, first, I'm just getting right into it. Um, I heard something that I heard when I was young. Apparently, it's still being said. I don't know if any of you heard it, but okay. Being said that you do, they say, you do know it's opposite that when you see the dark and and the light, that they're tricking you, that God is really the devil, the dark, and Lucifer is God. All I can say is, who believes that? Do you have common sense? Like, really? How is it switched? You know, the dark can't stand anyone of the light, and they can play you, just for a little bit, be the light, but you could still tell there's still darkness around them. There, you need to pay attention. It don't go, you know, the darkness doesn't go away. I don't care how much you fool a person. If they can see the true person, I advise you, you better run. And all the negative talk, who would sit there and believe someone? You know it's a lie. And if you don't, well, go research it before you start, you know, taking money off of people, from people, to help them. I don't know. Oh man, I got the hiccups. Sorry. Um, to help people, to harm people. Eventually, you're going to find out that you are helping them. But if anyone says, oh, we're going to go and do this to this person, right there should be a light bulb. Okay? Um, it's like you guys aren't in the field of, being a detective. You listen to a person and you go spy or stalk. It's stalking. Even detectives need to find out what the real truth is to see who's lying. Believe me, for me to get the truth, oh, I became every field. I was a detective for a long time. So I know how to get answers. And you keep messing with my phone. Don't you think I can get answers from somewhere else? Duh. We have the power to stop the BS, all the negativity, and whatever. Okay? Ones who try to get you to do whatever with money to harm. Okay? Put things in whatever. No. Let's say, let's say everything in everything. Okay? They go around being as they are so bad arses. I don't know if you can say that word, but anyway, you get what I mean. Like, because they get whoever to do stuff, to harm and etc. Right? Spread lies, rumors, etc., etc., etc. Because they, are all of they don't realize that they have attachments to them, especially if you join people to do rituals, you know they go into spirit, and it's like they should know the law and the rules, but they ignore it. And what do? They bring in more, where you know now they're messing with like truly demonic ones. You can fight them too. If you hear all kinds of negativity and all kinds of stuff, like, you know uh you get a thought and it's negative, you just like stop, put your hand up, or whatever. I don't care if anybody's around, or you do it in your head. It doesn't matter. They could still hear you. You did not give them permission to come into your space. You are of the light. You don't harm people. And for these ones, oh, guarantee, you get in their faces and put them in their places, watch how scared they are. They love scaring people not to speak, not to, do whatever. See how they like it. Now, you have to make your judgment. You can't just go and do, I keep saying you need to turn these people in, speak up, and blah, blah, blah. But you do know some things, you have to weigh it out. You can get groups and, hold them down or whatever. But you get what I mean. You always call the authorities, 911 first. You just don't whip out, cameras and whatever. Yeah, you get it on camera or film, whatever it's called. But you need to call the authorities too. This way they get there in time. You could stop them. But like I said, you still need to be careful. We're all protected. But Spirit's not telling you to go do something stupid and being in danger. Sorry, I hiccuped right there. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know. I forget what that means, but I don't know. Anyway, they think that they're, like I said, bad arses. They get whoever, but they keep forgetting the light is more powerful. That, because they go around acting they are bad asses arses, sorry, because they know people who can do things and think no one would get caught. You know, they think because they know people, and who knows people? Really? Do you know how much money? Well, I forget what it's called. Dirty money you are handing out? Why do you think also why your life is in shambles? Because you keep putting out there that money is dirty and you could buy anything you damn well please, right? Well, that's not how you do things. So, are we going to let them um, crush what's right, make everyone unhappy, destroy what we have part of building for our world? No, because when we all stand up to these MFers, they and their so-called groups and ones they have, I don't know, connections with to do whatever will crumble. They will be scared of us. It shouldn't be the other way around, where everybody isn't focusing and etc. That's called everything is being forced. And I explained all that in my other videos. And I don't know how many times I had to bring it up. This time I'm not. So, they destroy, and again, we are in the middle. They think by poisoning our foods, drinks, meds, etc., that they won't get any of that. And as I said in my other video, the thing is, how long are they going to be taking everything that is good for their supplies and whatever else, to get to the root of whatever and blah, 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 all the food and whatever. How long do you think that will last? So, anyone knows? Get them all checked out. Start taking all their supplies. That is all good. Everything that they took from us. This way, they have all, they have all the good, but eventually it will get to them. But let's do it sooner. You see, more stores are taking everything off the shelves. Vegetables. And a lot more. The meats. Everything that I spoke about and what's out there on recall. Sugars. Energy drinks. listeria, and whatever else is all coming back. You know, that's what they want. Chemicals, drugs, plastic, and much more are in all this stuff. So, again, whoever knows what's being done and who, you better start standing up and speaking. Because you don't, you will be part of what they're doing, even if you're not doing anything. Like, really. And I've been saying that. You know something? You're not speaking up, you're part of it. As I said, karma is hitting hard now. They're tired of this. And it is true. There's one angel. And I'm not going to say. You know? You know. He can take down over probably it's up to 200,000 in one shot. And guess what? He is on the orders to do so. You have no idea what me and God and spiritual court did. You have no idea what we spoke about. We spoke about what's going on. They told me, and together we made up the orders. Because, you know, I'm not the only one. People spend hours and hours and hours away from their families, work their butts off for what? For people to be, I don't know, to take it. They spend hard money, buying food that everybody needs. But now it's like, what? What's being brought back? People have to watch what they eat. They have to check everything. We're not chemists, whatever, to get it tested, and everything. Oh, believe me, I have a kit, and I'm getting another one because I've been through all this. We shouldn't have to do everybody's field or career or whatever, how you want to say it. I really don't care. You get what I mean. Everyone puts trust in whoever that has a career in the field, making products or whatever. Now, instead of waiting centuries or whatever, how you want to say it, karma is hitting now. Really hard. See, I know what my ancestors went through. Took me a little bit to, find out. But I know what they went through, and they told me. And I broke all that once I heard, that I could. Do you really want no I mean, do you think that our ancestors, our loved ones and whoever, our angels wants us to repeat and go through everything that they went through? Do you actually know what they went through? How many actually passed away? How many barely made it, holding on to their children to escape and, you know, do what they could? No, you don't. Did you ever watch someone going, you know, oh, I don't know, eating something or whatever, and next minute you know that you don't know what to do or whatever because whatever was in it is attacking them. Do you know what to do? Oh, wait, you stay away from all that, right? Because you got the good stuff. And you think that you're going to escape that. What about your loved ones? What about whoever? Your siblings? What about, whoever? Your animals, your pets, which is family. Okay. You see, are we going to sit quiet? I don't think so. Because how is that protecting each other? Because and the ones who does the vaccines and etc. How by keeping people and returning back what you know our ancestors went through. What happens if one of your loved ones get that vaccine? What are you going to do? Huh? Are you going to dish out all that money that some can't even afford? Oh, maybe that's why it's all free. But we can't, dish out all that medical bills that insurances don't even pay. And then you get people to, oh, I don't know, send extra bills pretending that they weren't paid when the insurances do pay. How's this like a win win situation? Huh? So who's getting paid? Oh, I don't know, twice, three times? And where's it going? You see, the HPV and the Gardasil vaccine, look it up. What's in it? They are trying to bring back all these diseases, the polio, where you get, and being paralyzed, the lungs, I think it was called the iron lung. I don't know. Instead of being in, a tube or whatever to help you breathe. Oh no, you get a box that doesn't even come through the oxygen to help you to breathe. It gives out some, and then it takes a little while to reach you because they were told they need it, you know, to all these vaccines, they're told to, you need it to, keep healthy, right? I'm going to tell you, I came across, now this resurfaced, I guess, I don't know. This boy, young, was healthy. And because him and his parents, they were told they needed to continue to be healthy. You have to get this vaccine. They got it. The boy decided to go riding on his bike, motorcycle, dirt bike. That was the last time. Because an hour later, he started not feeling well. And then, all of a sudden, his mom was like, "Are you okay?" And then, bam, all of a sudden, he couldn't move and he couldn't breathe. And you know what the kicker is? This person, this kid, he was well liked. And he passed away 2018. 2018. His name is Colton. I don't know what else his name is. But he had to carry around this box to get the oxygen that was in his throat in order for him to speak. And it took a while. But he couldn't take it anymore. So they didn't say how he did it, but he took his own life. Now, this was 2018. Think about it. And it's resurfacing. How long do you think till this been going on? Even with the everything, with the foods, everything. Now, everything don't taste the same anymore. Now, I did a video about it a while back, and I was told to bring it up, before. Because I noticed everything was different. But I said, it was being done in a hurry, or not paying attention, or half-arse. And because now there's a lot of money, you know, they didn't care. I'm speaking about the workers or whoever, you know. Now it's because people are being hired, contaminating things, things in foods. I mean, even like I said, you have to be careful. And these people, you know, stop letting people use your accounts when you are supposed to be delivery people. Now companies are hearing about it and they're now noticing, you know, now they're noticing. All this, again, how long? And hospitals and etc. never said anything, or workers, to put a stop to it. I mean, with that vaccine, whatever that kid got, that's 8 years that this has been going on. So, how long do you think the other stuff's been? And nobody was really paying attention. Think about it, 8 years is way too long, especially with the foods. I don't know how long that's been. I mean, I've been hearing about it for a long time also. You see, in my case, my thing is one day is way too long to wait. And let these ones who think they are and will get away with it. See, I said think. They're not getting away with it. But it's taken how many years? Everything is repeating, and it shouldn't. You see, once wherever it is or whatever it's about, once the first complaint went out, you know, whatever change, especially with recipes, at factories or whatever. How come this is supposed to, is this supposed to help? Especially with anything. And why are we still feeling but even worse? Why are people, complaining about everything now? Don't give me, oh, it's because of age. We all been silenced by force. All these ones who keep playing in spirit to harm. Why is that? They know the rules. I don't get it. You take a career, you take a field or whatever, or you take a job. You're supposed to work at it. And if you don't get paid enough that what you want, I mean, you work there, you go find another job that will pay a little bit. But, people get greedy, overspend what they actually get, you know, instead of paying their bills. You pay your bills, put food on the table for your family and your children, if you have children or not, whatever. And then you go. Being fancy and everything, you know, because you have money or whatever. If you still have that attitude of being, dark or harming people, or the attitude of, you know, being a bitch or whatever you call a guy, being disrespectful, doesn't matter if you have money or not. You're still going to have that attitude. And it doesn't matter how much money you get. You think that's going to help you to be happier? No. Like I said, you took a career to help, not to harm or destroy. As I said, everyone needs someone from whatever career, whether we are healthy or not. It don't matter what it is. Everyone will still benefit, still bring in an income. Doesn't matter. This is also what lies do, and what they do in spirit, to harm people. Everyone, now, if you don't, I'm not speaking about you. I'm just saying, okay? Let's get that clear. You see, everyone believes in lies, like the one that I said, that, you know, God is really the devil, and et cetera, et cetera, and the devil is really God. They play it off. You know why they say that? And if you believe it, then that's your problem. But if you know better, they're trying to get you to go on the dark side and believe the dark. This way you could do stupid crap. See, everything's in your imagination. So here takes, you know, take these and all. You get the point. As in, that's what these people do. They trick you. And you know why they trick you? Because, oh, I don't know. They never took off all the, attachments that they have. So they want to, I don't know. They want to bring it on to people. This way they won't be lonely. And because they got you, you think that they're the boss, because, whatever. No, it's all greed. They want only them to benefit. Do you think they are really going to you know, pay you good money? No, they're paying people if they can't get into spirit to do rituals and all that other happy horse crap. They pay the money. They make sure, they know people in places. This way, all their groups or whatever are in and they got hired. This way, you could do whatever they tell you to do. So think about that. They don't care if you get caught. They don't care that that's a crime and that you didn't catch on. You know that, right? Stalking and doing all kinds of stuff at work or anywhere. It's a crime. You say, they all have all the good, whatever, while all bad is going out, like I said. See, this is what I'm being told. I'm not in any of these fields. So it don't mean I don't know the difference in anything. And everyone should know the difference too. See, all these ones, they have no idea how bad spirit is given the karma out. If you are ones who are doing no need to say, in the hospitals that before workers didn't really know what was happening, but now I give them thumbs up. Now they are speaking up and saving people. And I hope, like, one, you call the security or whatever, 911, and get them caught. We need to start getting and let them, take whatever the karma is. And hopefully, whatever. But these ones, you see, what do you think Spirit's going to do? You see, what you done to others, before, killing people, whatever, murdering, doesn't matter. What they're doing in the hospitals, giving morphine, or whatever, or going into spirit and doing it that way. So, what do you think Spirit's going to do? Huh? You can guess. You see, I mentioned, you know, all that before. And I also mentioned, um, I'm only going to just say a little bit of it. Make sure you get, the documents notarized about doning, donors. Um, you don't want, what I was just saying, what hospitals were doing. There is a legit way, but make sure that you go to a lawyer and get things, ask them to do it. And hospitals, they need to obey it because these ones, they're ignoring about the vaccines and that you don't want it or, you know, that you're a donor. They're ignoring it, whoever those people are. Get everything off. Make sure, you know, where it says. And also because it will be there even if you didn't check that. And also put in there about the vaccines. No vaccines because um, I said it in the video what the vaccines were. I have to check. I just said that I was just saying a little bit of this. This is, when you go to the hospital, the ER or anywhere now. So, what are we going to do about all this? All the companies need to find out about their products and everything, where they are coming from. Test them, one package or whatever. Have the cameras see what your workers are doing, who's doing what. I said all this. I'm not going to repeat it in my last video. All this, again, needs to stop. Everyone needs to know what they are getting. We put trust in every business, medical, and companies and careers. Why are we being lied to, especially when we see things being taken off shelves and then told? I don't know why. Even if you speak to managers. Now, what happens if ones before who bought it need to know? What happens if, who's asking had something that they bought, but they needed more? So, how is it that we can't know? If you're taking that off and someone bought it last week, but they need more, it's the same. They should be told, right? And we also don't need to hear it from ones who hear about something and then give their own story about, what they assume and get everyone to believe it if it's wrong. See, there's another way people lie. and get rumors started and etc. You see, the world is everyone's to build, to make it better. Not just ones who think because they have a higher status that they only are allowed to have the say. But it could be wrong. And they know that. You see, stop trying to ruin who are good at their job and whatever, who helps people. You see, how how is it our ancestors had whatever shipped to stores, made and shipped for I don't know centuries or whatever more with no problems. Now it's like, oh, it might be when it was sealed, you know, germs got in there. It was made the same way. Yeah, okay. But how did all this crap get in it then? You know, metal. Oh, I don't know. Some type of drugs. Um, germs. I'll just say germs. I'm not going to say. You probably heard about it. You know, and etc. How are, trackers and cameras getting into, stuffed animals and toys and our clothes and etc. Oh, now our light bulbs, how's that? Hmm? I mean, really. Hmm. So, not one knows, right? Not even the workers or whoever. Never seen anything. You do know, more you sit on something, do you actually believe that saying? Oh, somebody else will say something. Really? Then how come things are still being done? It could affect you one day. It could affect your loved ones one day. I mean, look at that kid. It's resurfacing. I mean, I don't know. Now, that's the first time I've ever seen that. That kid got the vaccine. I like to know who made these people boss to play with people's lives by poisoning, doing crap, spying on people, putting stuff in to give people instead of making them healthy or whatever. No, they're giving what our ancestors had. How is that helping? And who made you boss to do all that instead of doing what's right? You picked that field, and it says to help people. And people want to know why they're having so much problems. So then, you know, they have to bring it on to others who were comfortable and whatever. Hmm. Thing is, then you shouldn't be working in these fields and harming others. Like, really. Or telling lies about, whatever field it is. How's that like helping people? Would you want that done to you? Say you need it. I'm just saying, I'm not saying lawyers and doctors and whoever are doing it, all of them. No, it's the bad ones who are making the good ones, you know, where people, you get what I mean. Say you want that happen to you? Say you needed a doctor or a lawyer. Other than what your field is. Because, it's different types of law. Everybody doesn't do every single type of law. Say you needed it. What you do to people, do you expect them to tell you the truth? Or are they going to connive you and do something? Whatever. This is just an example. I'm not saying they're doing anything. I mean, really. Is this how people supposed to live? With lies? And not getting help? How's that protecting? How's that building our world? How's that protecting the future of children? How are they supposed to learn? Some of them are way better than, the ones that should know better. How is that? Well, like I said, karma is hitting really hard and really bad. So I'm not telling you what side to pick or whatever. I mean, again, naturally, the dark and the light helps you. You have to, if dark gets to you, starts speaking negative, oh, go do that, go do that. Oh, what are you going to do? Go do it? Then you're right back to square one. I mean, only you have the power. BS with all these bullies and whatever. You have to find your own technique. More you don't give in to them, or you ignore what they do, or whatever, you keep going. And then if they so happen to ask, how come you never do anything? And, you politely just say, would that matter? You'll still do it. It will stop some of them. But these ones, they need to be put in their place. People can't just sit back anymore and thinking that others are going to, say something. Now, you know what? The thing is, more who do call 911 or put in reports and, etc. You get what I mean. It will be a lot of evidence, a lot more believable. Hey, we need to check this. But it doesn't matter even if you get one. You should check it thoroughly. I've been quiet for years. I've been told to be quiet. I don't know what I'm speaking about. It was like I was in the corner. And then I told you about that story. I was told my baby isn't going to sit in the corner anymore. I'm not here to tattle on people or snitch on people. No, I'm giving out what I've been through and what's happening, and people need to pay attention. These ones, like I said, the dark and the light, from spirit, they're supposed to test you, okay? Everybody goes through tests, okay? I'm still, doesn't matter how high you are up or whatever, how you want to say it. It keeps you on your toes, okay? That is natural. But they know when to stop. These ones, they went overboard. Ones like the demonic and, the ones that they convinced their ancestors up there who were supposed to be protecting everybody, blah, 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 whatever. But because they didn't realize, oh, it's family or whatever, etc., etc. They were telling them things, allowing things being done. See, people went overboard, okay, with all this. As I said, they know when to stop, how far they're allowed. These ones, they keep going. Like the ones in every family who are supposed to break the chains, etc., whatever. Yeah, people get assigned to the next generation and etc. But if it's broken, they're not allowed to touch you. Okay? They went overboard. Because these MFers keep bringing them back. But don't you worry your little pretty head. I got rid of them. The ones that you keep sending to me. They're all going back to you. And I'm not sorry. What's about to happen? You brought it on yourselves. But whatever. I hope this helps. And I know all this is disturbing, whatever. But I don't know. There is a lot more to think about. Matter of fact, I did find again the one that I was supposed to put out the end of last year that I kept trying to put out, which it will be put out. I might have a little bit of repeats, but I'm supposed to about that. Now that's different of repeats, even though that I can't stand repeats. And our ancestors do not want us to go through what they went through. So now, I like to know who all these people are. You piss the blank off of them, especially my ancestors with these ones. I told you not to mess with me. Especially everything that you've done. But hey, whatever. Everyone else, I hope this helps. And don't sit back. You have the power. You start hearing negative things or whatever, like in your head, and that's not you. You just say, stop. You make sure they know. Excuse me, you say whatever you want to say, but I'm just saying things. You did not give them permission. You returned to sender. Or I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I didn't give you permission, It has to be your own. But you do have to say that, but it has to be your way. One thing that helped somebody, it might not help you. You could combine it, like I said. But you get what I mean. Anyway, everyone, thank you for listening. And I really didn't think this was going to be this long. But anyway, thank you. And everyone, have a great morning. And always with love and light. Thank you. Ciao.